the let's just take like the EBT thing. I think a lot of Americans believe that EBT is necessary. There are, I think that veterans should get free food. I think
Definitely.
veterans should get free health care. I think if
Definitely.
you fought for the freedom that we have to even be here to have this discussion, that you should have free food and free health care. You should be prioritized to the front of the
100%.
line. That's
100%.
that's my first priority. Second would be for elderly people. Like there's no point in living a life of elderly age if you don't have a good quality of life. So I think
Right.
that healthcare for older people and food for older people shouldn't be something that they struggle with. Now, now we're gonna have to get to case sensitive stuff.
So here's the thing though, but it also gets down to, so with the veterans and the elderly, yeah. Well, I'll let you go where you're gonna go first with the
Well,
case sensitive, because I think I believe that it is our duty and our responsibility as American citizens to provide that for our veterans and for our elders.
mhm,
But I think we're going the same place with it. Like the
yeah, now we need on a real case by case basis examine anybody else who is receiving said benefits. And then the first people that have to go is any illegal immigrants that are
100
using
million, yeah, they shouldn't even gone in the
any
first place.
any illegal immigrants is the first people that have to be removed from
That's
using
insane,
any
man.
federally funding assisted. Because here's the thing, man. If it's expected, then it's not assistance. It's enabling.
Exactly.
So
And
we are
you're also shitting on the veterans, man. Like these
well,
guys go over here and fight in some of the countries these people are running away from, and then
that's why I put
they
them
end
number
up
one.
homeless. Yeah, they end up
Yeah,
homeless with no food, no health care, and then
that's
these
why I put
guys
them.
cross the border illegally, get an $8,000 card, an EBT card, fucking put up in a fucking hotel. Like
Yeah, I put veterans number one over even elderly people.
always facts, man.
So, because as elderly people, they wouldn't have the freedoms to be elderly without the veterans that fought for that. So,
Yeah, I agree with you a million
collectively,
percent on that.
those two groups get taken care of. The first people to get eliminated is any illegal immigrants that's using our federal funded assistance, anything, whether it's food, housing, medical, any of that stuff. That's got to go. If you're going to be here illegal, then you're going to have to definitely hustle in a way illegally to take care of yourself before we let any of these other people suffer. Second, here's what I don't like. I don't like when statistically they talk about EBT and they say children, a certain percentage of children are on EBT.
Children can't be on EBT.
I don't know any child
You can't be.
that has gone into the EBT thing and has got a card and has managed and maintained that. So when you use the word children in your statistic, what you should really be saying is some parental figure who controls how that money that is allocated for that children's food health, how that money is to be spent. Now, any any of
Now
us
we
that
get to
are
the
not
good ones.
idiots know that for 50 cents on the dollar, you could buy said food stamps from almost anybody who is in
Yep.
the food stamp game. Now, I don't participate in this purchase, but I'm very aware that you can go and get 50 cent on the dollar food stamp all day, every day.
Yep.
So the system is broken right there off the front with the illegals and with the misappropriation of funds
People taking
for
advantage
illegal,
of it.
yeah,
I
for
mean,
illegal,
I'll just say it. We'll be real about it. Like, there's a lot of people get mad about the whole drug testing thing, but I think that would eliminate a lot of like what you're talking about, because
yeah,
most of the people selling their food stamps for, I'll
yes, it
give you
does.
$100 of food stamps for $50 because they just
Yeah,
want to go get high. They
they
ain't trying
want
to
to go
eat
high.
anyways.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Not only are they going to sell their food stamps and go get high, but now because they don't have food stamps, now they're going to go to
Go
the
to the
food
food
bank.
bank. Yep.
And what the food bank is really designed for Now it's being misappropriated. So like everybody has allowed the system to get abused, injured, and now infected to where it almost can't be healed, but it has to be destroyed. Now, I think it would be terrible for anybody to go without food, right? But I think that it's real important that we uh, keep it all the way a 10-point buck here
Yeah.
and say that if you're buying Reese's peanut butter cups with your EBT food stamp card, then you're misappropriating those funds.
Well, isn't there like one, man, hold on, what's it called? WIC. I don't know if it's that just in our state. Would they like do stuff for like moms and stuff? I get and like you can only get certain stuff. Like they give you like bread and peanut butter,
WIC,
you know what I mean?
yeah, WIC is
That
the
makes more sense.
that's what we were on when we were young. We were on WIC whenever I had my first kids, and I came from being on food stamps because I was on disability when I was a young adult when I first had my first child, and we were very poor. And we were on like I was on disability. My first wife, she was on disability, um, and then my children were both born disabled. Two of my children were born disabled, and then we were on WIC, we were on food stamps, and it was hard. It was hard because uh, you couldn't make any money. Like you were trapped. It was a trap. And even though I worked
So as
on
soon as you made money, you lost all that, and then it wasn't
yeah,
enough to cover it.
anything that was on the table, so you had to work under the table. So that's why I worked concrete on a job site because I could get paid cash, but I couldn't get a job at a regular place because they would look at my skin and they would be like, you can't work here because I had psoriasis and eczema so bad on my hands. Like everywhere where there was a line on my hand was cracked open. And like I went to barber school, I went to bartending school, I went to a lot of schools, but I couldn't even do these things because of my skin disease that I had. And anybody that knows me from that time period in my life, they remember like I used to be bandaged up from my hand up to my elbows on both arms, and like from
Damn.
my ankles, and like I had it in my hair real bad. It was on my face real bad. Like I had, it was just real bad, and I didn't even realize, for a long time that was a dietary thing. Also, what is it? Yeah, baby, I'm in the middle of an interview. The cat is here. Yeah, we hear you, baby. So yeah, it was just, I've been on that system before, so I know that it's necessary, but like the misuse and the abuse that we've allowed the system to take a toll on the American taxpayer is absurd.
It's become normalized too. Like it's gotten to where, like you said, it's entitlement and enablement.
Yeah.
Not
And like people who really play the system, like people who have children, just to make sure that they maintain their benefits and to maintain their extra everything, their insurance. Your kid's getting older, have another kid. You start your insurance all over, and you'll get to add more money to your thing. That kid gets old enough to go to school, have another kid. Hey, have two kids, double it up.
double it up.
But and then
No, that's a real thing though. There are people
it
that
is,
actually
and
do
then
that. They look
no
at kids as a
different.
commodity. It's fucking crazy.
And then no different the way that we domesticate our children into their bad habits. Like they're gonna see, they're not dumb. They're gonna see what it is, and then you're gonna have kids that are gonna go and they're gonna abuse the system. So we're talking
Well,
about decades
I mean,
and
I know a
generational.
family that fucking they basically the grandma pushed uh two of the kids to maybe more than that, but I know two for sure to get on disability.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And the one definitely wasn't disabled, just
right.
lazy. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And then Now, fast forward, they've got kids that are a little bit younger than me, and the one is completely fine, like 1,000,000% not disabled, but on disability and all that
Yeah,
shit. And like, it's just crazy, like you're saying, like
they're just getting
generationally,
them
they just
checks,
teach them to
bro.
play the system. Yeah, here's
It's
what you
just
can
a
do, so you
hustle.
can sit around and not do shit. You just go do this and file this
Yeah,
shit, and
or go do something and get double the cake, bro. Don't think that not everybody's sitting on the sidelines just catching a free check and that's all they're getting. Like a lot of people are getting that money and then going and getting more money.
getting yeah, money.
I mean, bro, you look at some like the other day I'm watching the news and that lady's receipt says she had $13,000 on her food stamp card and $4,500 cash on her card.
How?
That's on a snap card, my guy. I don't know, because I guess they let them stack that money up. And if you don't really need that money and you just keep stacking every month, eventually you're gonna have $13,000, $14,000. Especially maybe if you in somebody
Yeah,
else's
but
house
how
that's
is that
taking care of
allowed? It seems like if you don't use it, they
it.
okay, you
It
don't
should
need
go to
that.
zero every month.
Right.
You shouldn't be able to take October's uh, assistance and save it for November's Thanksgiving dinner. That's not assisting, bro. That's enabling. You got to change the whole name of the game. So like this, that's
I
just
mean, I
one.
hate to be a dick, but here's how I look at it on some real shit. I'm just gonna keep it all the way above. If you need to be on food assistance, you probably shouldn't be having an extravagant Thanksgiving dinner. You probably should just have a nice dinner with your family that don't cost much and figure out your life priorities to where you have the money to buy a nice Thanksgiving dinner the next year.
I mean, I don't even need
Doesn't seem like it's that
Thanksgiving
fucking
dinner.
hard to
I'm
figure
not.
out.
I ain't even all the way broken. I ain't even eaten Thanksgiving dinner in 6 years.
Well, you're vegan, you don't count, man.
Hey, son,